Now the first note that I have on the bass line is this open E. And if you actually listen to the recording from the show, it actually is like a tuned up E, which is what I did when I played through the bass line. But it's actually really, really difficult to get it in exactly the right tuning. So if you want to make it a little bit easier for yourself, you could just kind of play an open E. Or you could bend up, so you could do an octave above. So you could bend that D to that E here on the A string. Or the other thing you could do, if you want to try to replicate what's on the soundtrack, is you could start from a D. But if you get the tuning wrong, which is kind of bound to happen, your whole bass line will sound kind of out, which is not really worth it, I don't think. So I'll even stick with an open E. And see how difficult the tuning is. Or I'll do that, or bend that D up to that E. Okay, so this part here, we're moving from like the 7th position down to this 3rd position. It was very difficult kind of movement to kind of get nice and accurately. So what I would do, if you're kind of struggling with it, I would take out these quarter note bends, like these ones here and here, to make sure that you can kind of get that rhythm and that transition nice and smooth. Yeah, cool. So the second part of the bass line is the main theme, and this kind of goes on throughout. Now, this is mostly played slap. So all those notes are played slap, and I'd play them with your thumb. And there's an occasional kind of pop note like this one here. So you need to really work on getting a consistent tone on the slap, and also just kind of placing the thumb in exactly the right position so it's, yeah, tonally even. Now so on the official soundtrack one, the theme is played firstly in open, in the key of E, but the next time around it gets transposed up one note, so it then starts from an F. So after you played an E and then F, obviously then you can play it in G. But between the E to the F, we do that turnaround from the intro. So if you wanted to, you could just kind of keep playing it up and up the neck until you kind of run out of space somewhere. I don't know why you want to do that, but you could do that if you wanted to. So this main theme which I've got today, I've kind of presented like 2 parts here, so this part and this part, and they're pretty much the same, but the second part's kind of slightly different in terms of rhythm and some of the notes, and it just kind of shows the kind of improvisation aspect of it, so how it kind of changes slightly every single time. All right, and also some of the rhythms as well are kind of tricky to kind of like nail on exactly the right beat, so I'll just kind of listen to my original kind of playthrough to get the rhythm exactly right. All right, so here's part C, and part C is for when Jerry delivers his punchline, so it has that. Now you can see here that's very similar to the main theme, and the kind of tricky thing here is that we have that full bend for that note, for that G into the A. So you can kind of bend it down, either with your 3rd finger or your 1st finger. Once again, if you find it difficult, you could just kind of not do the bend at all, because it is really tricky to bend, you know, the strings on a bass guitar. All right, so here's a slower playthrough. Thanks for watching. If you want printable PDFs or guitar profiles from today's lesson, they're available on my Patreon, and a big thank you to all my Patreons, especially my VIP Patreon. And here are some more videos that you might find interesting.